All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here and helping me out. All right, so the agenda today is we're gonna talk about strengthening STAR Boot Camp. How's it going? It's been going. We've been doing this for a week, right? So we're gonna talk about that. Before we get started, we're gonna introduce ourselves. All right, so I'm Kish Davis, reading interventionist here at Maryfield. I have 15 years experience teaching and 4 years instructional coach, and 2 reading interventionists, 2 years reading interventionist.
My name is Tyler Ellis. I am the 5th grade reading teacher. This is my 2nd year teaching, but this is my 5th year in education.
My name is Laretha Davis. I am the school counselor here. This is my 2nd year as a counselor, and I have a total of teaching-wise 14 years in education.
Oh, nice. My name is Karen Ishmael. This is my 1st year at Maryfield. I'm the 5th grade math teacher. I've been in education for over 30 years. Yeah, just happy to be here.
Thank you. Any celebrations as far as we've been doing this for about a week now?
We're getting closer and closer to STAR. So we can be
Reading
done.
STAR is
first.
11. Are we at 11 days before the STAR?
Wow. I'm very
Yeah.
excited to get that out of the
All
way.
right, you on the board? Yes, so that is
That's
definitely a celebration.
For sure,
Mhm.
for sure, definitely.
Dr. Ishmael, what you thinking? What you got for us?
I think the small group is helping out with a lot of students. So I want to celebrate the fact that we don't have the whole group, that the groups have been broken in half. So we can really hone in on those students that are struggling. So that to me is a good celebration.
I agree.
And on my end, what I'm seeing the transition for the 5th grade to come in the morning to start out with their assignments and lessons have been a smooth transition. I don't see any problems, or nor have I heard of any. So that means that the students are enthused about what they're doing.
Okay. My celebration is my first block. Thank you so much for blessing me with that. That's the masters. Is it like the ones that's close to masters, or the masters and we want to maintain?
Mixed in.
Okay, so it's mixed. They are, they are on fire. It's a pretty small group. We are learning the compound sentence, coordinating conjunction, the comma rules for it. So when we do the revising and editing, they see it. They're able to spot it when they have to combine those sentences. What they're struggling a little bit with is the complex sentences, because we haven't really talked about that. But they are like, you say it, they got it. So I'm really, really excited about that. Like, that makes my heart sing. All right. So we're gonna do roles. So you're gonna be my timekeeper.
Okay.
Put the timer on and just let me know. I should probably say that before we start, but you just put it on now. Note taker. Yes, Dr. Ishmael, if you don't mind just jotting down something every once in a while.
No worries.
And Ms. Ellis, you're gonna be our encourager,
Okay.
our realist. You're gonna reel us back in if we kind of,
Float off. Okay.
if we float off, because sometimes I float off a little bit. I get passionate. All right, and now we can get started. So let's talk about the trends that we have been seeing while we are doing our STAR boot camp, the good and the bad. And you said something today I want to bring up too about I want to say you said something about stamina. So
Yes.
I want to.
I will say I have been seeing that they are able to understand a little bit better what is being asked of them, because that's a big deal as far as whenever you're taking any type of test.
And yours get excited.
Yes, once they get that aha moment, they get excited and they get it done. I will say though, the data with the writing is our struggle area. And we already know that writing would be the area of struggle. It's always been our area of struggle. So we have to work on that. And I know we have terrific Terrific Tuesday tomorrow,
Yeah.
Terrific Writing Tuesday.
Mhm.
So we're going to, I think I'm gonna take a step back based off the scores from last week's ECR and go back and maybe try to simplify the instructions of what's being asked of them on that specifically, because sometimes they over analyze it and they just start running on because they think it's supposed to be long. So since it's long,
Yeah.
that means I'm good, but that's not necessarily true.
Right.
So with my data, like I said, I see trends in understanding what's being asked of them depending on the words that they use. So I make them break down the question based on the vocabulary so that they can get a better understanding, and they are starting to grasp it and do it on their own without my assistance.
That is so good. And we still have time. We still have time to like perfect that. Very good. Dr. Chanel, any trends in math?
Well, I think mine actually, the answer to the question is yes. I do agree also with the stamina part, but probably in the other, swinging it the other way. I think the students have, for me specifically, they've hit this situation like a wall. And I don't necessarily see the regression, but I can start to see that
They kind of neutralize at this point and not
they're in
moving.
this. And what happens is, because the children that I have are the children that are either approaches or does not meet or did not meet, I don't have those masters and meets kids to push them. So that creates another type of environment. I have like a lot of the
I never thought about that
information.
with grouping. If they're grouped alike, that's not that competition.
You don't have that, right, you don't have that balance
Elevated,
because I can't pair somebody up with another person because they're pretty much all in the same category. So, and math is not sexy. It's not, they don't like it. So it's very, you know what I'm saying? So it's, they do, but because they struggle with the reading part of it and I don't read it anymore to them, that's the other part of it. So what I'm seeing is that it's taking them a little bit longer to get things done. Because they don't have that partner to spar off of that's going to push them, or they're going to be able to share answers with or talk things out with. So I'm now, especially my last group is the ones that really, really struggle. So I'm just trying to figure out more creative ways.
For me, it's like so.
I think my last group is actually
My first group.
right. So
And what you said is almost like a flip. Because even though we had some issues in the way that they put the groups and they only made it off math, whereas you say that there's no higher students that are in there that are trying to motivate and push the other students, we have mixed groups. So that intrinsic motivation is a little bit different in reading than math.
Because sometimes, like, I use a specific student all the time, Matthew Spearman, he actually can read. He reads very fluently, but he struggles with the math. So he can read the word problem. He understands how to set the word problem up, but then he just struggles with the computation of that. So that's where, so I can support him better. But when I have a student who can't understand or comprehend the question, then I'm almost like force feeding them information.
Whereas if you had a student that was good at math,
Right.
he was good at
He
reading,
was good at reading.
and you said you had a different.
You can put them together and they can kind of support each other. So that's the struggle that I'm having. And I think also it's just too much, it's too many questions.
What do you mean?
There's too many questions in the slide deck.
Oh, that you're given? Okay.
Right, so I have to cut the slide deck down. And I really have to focus on the questions that are gonna be on the exit ticket, as opposed to just generally all of these questions. And, so I have to kind of tailor it for each group.
Right.
So I'm looking at one group, my first group, they can do it. My second group can pretty much do it. That last group, they just struggle. I have to, cut the slide deck almost in half for them. So we're gonna just focus on specific problems, and then we're gonna go straight to the exit ticket, because the time it takes them to get the exit ticket is a long time. So
same thing on that slide. What are you thinking about trends and good, bad with Star Boot Camp, whatever you've seen?
Let's say that the different things that I'm seeing though, I am seeing students that are excited about being celebrated, and they kind of sharing it with other teachers. Again, I come in on a different level of looking at the schedules and tending to that, but I do like the fact that teachers are having a lot more different students that are being able to be called up front to participate. And I was listening to Dr. Ishmael, and I was saying, like, man, it would be great if we had at least 2 or 3 more students that can possibly read, and then kind of like tag team them together and show them how to be able to engage and piggyback off of each other. You know, whereas that student start to see that when reading, maybe that would also influence them to want to participate and engage more, to just kind of like put them in groups, and you got 2 or 3 groups like that, then there we go, we got the competition. Not to where it's making it real competitive, but it's a healthy competition, because now you got more students, right, that's can engage in that.
Right, I should be able to level up.
Well, I agree. This is what after, before the boot camp is over, start boot camp and start, you know, just being able to come in here and then go take that information back. A lot of times students are not aware just how much the two is connected. When you say, a lot of them will say they like math, but then like Dr. Ishmael stated, that it becomes difficult when I cannot read, or I'm not, you know, they always ask the teachers the question, well, why do you think they missed the problem? Well, they're not able to read. They don't comprehend the material that's being presented in front of them. Yes, I know how to pronounce the words, but pronouncing it don't mean you comprehend it.
If I know how to pronounce the word.
And in context with what the question is asking. So
Exactly.
that's very complicated to be able to and most of those words are tier 3 words. So we're talking about words that are specific to math, period. They're specific to math. They're tier 3 words. So if you don't know that word or something related to that word,
game over.
You're right.
Yes. Oh, okay, so making that connection.
And really moving to the struggling standards that goes with on my end, because there's a TEK for using context clues to be able to define words. And they kind of, like, I have to give a certain amount of assistance that I feel like I should not be having to give so late in the year. Me and Dr. Jones had a conversation about it, because again, the 5.11, anything that has the BI or III, those are our writing standards. And even with your group, understanding what's going on with the standards, I have the lower and the mid students. So when I'm trying to work with them with the writing, it's hard to balance, or it's hard to do, because I don't know another way to simplify it for them so that they can catch up. And I'm not allowed in this moment to go back. So I can't go back to, okay, so you remember when you were in first grade and we talked about the or sound. When you hear the or sound, how could you spell that out? I can't refer back to it, or I can't teach a lesson of that. So that's kind of where my struggling standards are, I will say, because I see that's the
I was about to say, she didn't already go. You can tell she team lead. She didn't already go to the next one on the agenda. I was about to say, you already on it.
And she keeping us in, you know, she's the person that's keeping us
She is. You're doing such a good job. Wow. Yeah, that is the struggling standard. So tell me this with the struggling standard. So this is my dilemma with writing. If it's the same, it's also with writing. All right, so we have the prompt. They write, done. Of course, they're done. Like, you know, they're really done. And then I said, all right, so guys, let's just look over it. So revising and editing a little bit. There's no such thing as them looking over anything or going back to check. Did I have my evidence on in here? Or, you know, my dictionary is literally on the computer. So did I spell it right? Let me just put it in here and see. So they're good with the race, but the writing process, that's a struggle, because I don't know how to calibrate that, because I keep saying, and it's like, no, we're good. No, I don't need to You're not good. Even I go back and check my writing.
Right.
Everybody does. When you write an email, you go back and
Constantly
read
going
your
back
email.
and just making sure, or you can always make it better.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah.
one of the things that reading and writing are not my strong areas. I can do them, but
no.
right, they're not my strong areas. So even when in school, what I found out is that I'm not able to write anything if I don't have anything in my brain that
Absolutely.
I've
So
read.
that brainstorming process.
So even
I
with
knew
that,
you was going
one
with
of
that.
the things that I had to do to be able to be successful in writing is to read. Then I was making all those connections, and I think that that's where they struggle. They're very limited in terms of exposure and experience.
Yes.
So when they're very literal. They're not.
They are.
They're very
Super
literal.
literal.
They're going to give you the basics. The cat is a cat. The cat is black. The cat is
Yeah,
white.
you're not going
They're
deeper
not
than
going to
that.
go any deeper than that. So I think that we have to be able to support them with getting more information into their heads and connecting that information to what they already know. Then they will have something to write. Like that
That's
was.
that writing process.
It's difficult. It's very.
I would love
think
for
about
y'all
the
to help me to
experiences.
figure out how to, especially that top group. I mean, it's no reason why they shouldn't be going through some of the writing process to make it better, because we want them to remain masters.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I tutor on Wednesday nights at Friendship West. So I'm tutoring high schoolers. So we're doing Star Boot Camp.
Okay, wow.
So one of our stories was about, is texting English or something like that.
It's
Like, and it was
language.
what I had them do, because they didn't want to read the article. So what I had them do was pull their phones out and put on the board their last text message that was appropriate that they wrote. And we looked at it and said, because they're writing it like a text message. So they got all this whatever
Symbols
going on.
and
So how would you then convert that
acronyms
into a full sentence? And they really enjoyed that. And we had just a discussion about, do you think that this is, that the topic was, is texting ruining the English language? And that's what, and some of them said yes, and some of them said no.
I'll
and we
say
had a
yes.
discussion about it, right?
Is
And then they could
ruining
write
the
about it
English
after
language.
that. Then they can write their opinion about it, because we did all of that front work for them. But
That's
it
a
was
really
very,
good
very
connection, though,
interesting.
something they were interested in too.
Right, that was something that they were interested
And like
in.
even now, actually in the beginning of school, when students start coming inside in my office, I start talking if they giving me a reason or telling me about what happened, the situation. And so I asked a few of them, like, hey, what does that look like? Can you put it on paper, what was happening at that moment? And they might say something, or give me an example of it. And that's the writing process. You see your prompt. Now give me an example of what that prompt looked like, sound like. What was your interpretation of what this prompt is asking you?
Right.
Then once they give you their example, then they can, hey, give me a reason for example one. What is one reason you chose this?
Details.
About it.
Details,
So now
right.
give me the next details. And I forgot it for the levels. And that's another thing. Even me, like I'm used to teaching middle school. So the language change as you grow. So our students, I don't know, maybe it's the exposure. Do we get to have those real life conversations? Can they give you a real life example?
Can they critically think?
Yep.
Yes.
To come up with a response.
Yes.
Critically thinking.
Because I was trying to tell students, like, hey, it don't necessarily have to be your family that you're describing. It could be a TV show that you saw on TV, and you
long as
just
you
talked
support
about
your
that
point.
vacation. It's still exposing the class to a vacation experience. And so the make-believe, the imagery, all of that, that's hard
That's
for
very
them.
difficult.
And
That's
you
very
know,
difficult. That's very
and
difficult.
you can't spend all day, like she said, I can't keep going back reteaching something that you should already grasp. But real life conversations, I think that teachers can share that real life experience that makes students connect. Okay, so how many people now? Everybody kind of see like, oh, okay, yes, we did that. but I don't want to know your whole life story. The whole vacation, we got up, we put gas in the car. Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm with you on that. All right, so let's move on. We talked about the struggling standards. Let's talk about the strategies. So what strategies are working?
Small group.
Yeah, so
That's the main strategy that we've been using.
so we liking it.
And again, like I said, I was hardcore pressed about why are my kids not in reading groups, and if we've been co-teaching for over half a year, why are we still not co-teaching? But with the small group and with the mixed students, I have figured out a way, because we are teachers.
Yep.
So I figured out a way of how it can just benefit them regardless of the situation, or regardless of any of the groups that I wanted them to be in.
Yeah.
And even within the groups, there are small strategies that I do. I still, do the gradual release where I do the I do, we do, you do. But now I'm also gradually releasing from that.
Because they need to do more at this point.
To do more, yes. I should not be reading. I should not be doing the critical thinking of what's going on. It should be solely the students. And really, it's been the students all year. It's just that I have been there for them to feel comfortable. Because that's another thing I've also seen is they second guess themselves.
They do. I've seen that personally.
And they
you
do
tell
it
them
on
too.
their
You're
own.
like, you had it right.
You had it right, and you feel like because I'm not there right beside you to tell you exactly, okay, that's right, right then and there, you get scared. But really, it's already in you. We've been going over this all year, so it's in you already. So if you know and you feel and you can back up your answer with the evidence, then you're good to go. I don't think there's any other strategies. The stations, you can include that as a strategy.
I do like the
The
stations a little bit.
stations
When they're simple,
sometimes, yes.
when they are, you can read it and it's like, okay, bam, let's do this. Some of them are like a little, complex. Some complex.
Yes.
But for the most part, I think that they like, that first group, they really like, they love it. They argue, debate, and all of that. So I love seeing them. But it's different. It's a different energy with my last block. They're very less engaged.
Who's that group?
That's the Aubrey.
What's our new baby name?
Kyrie.
The other one with the twin brother.
Lanaya.
She's in there, and I had RJ today, and Anthony. Both Anthonys are in there as well. But I can say this. They are really trying. They are reading and they're not embarrassed. And I believe because they are groups alike, and so it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
And I also think we have to consider that it's Monday. I always consider Monday because I'm dragging on Monday. So they, it takes them a little bit. Tomorrow they're gonna be better, right? Tomorrow they're gonna be better because they're back on the swing. So I think that also factors into it, like what day it is.
I agree.
What time of the day.
If it's a Friday,
depending on
for
how
Monday.
long they've been outside for recess. Like all of those things factor into what happens because they're children and they're tired.
Right.
And I think about sitting in this seat all day. That's
All
another
day.
one.
It's
That's another one. So I think some of the strategies that I'm going to try moving forward is getting them up moving around a little bit more.
I agree. I like that.
And trying to see if I can get them, maybe I'll have some of the posters around the board where they can actually write on the paper, and just engaging with themselves, because I said to them today, I'm not talking as much. I'm talking way too much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop and y'all gonna start. So I think tomorrow's lesson, I'm gonna try to get a little bit more movement going on and see how that helps them out.
And you probably can put like some, how you have like those cabinets, maybe put a question, give them something that they can read, and then like a group of 2 or 3, maybe 4, they discuss it, then maybe go and they work a problem and be able to go through it and work it out
Give
together.
us something, because that's our next one about the strategies. Give me some ideas for reading or writing.
Okay, so reading, it all depends on what. I haven't even looked at.
It's just it's your average star passage, and it's going to be revising, editing, being like combining sentences or vocabulary or like a misspelled word kind of mistake.
Okay, so you can actually you can just create like a misspelled word list, editing, and they can have their own paper. Maybe it's 10 of them in the classroom, and you put them in groups of maybe 2s or 3s, all depending on the size, and just start out. Put count off 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All number 1s start here. All number 2s, number 3s, however you want to do it, but just kind of let them kind of go around answering it on their own. Basically, hey, no talking, just walk around. I have the timer. You have so many
are
minutes.
Errors up, or are they just like?
You can do
like
it in errors where you can make corrections and they just write their response, just write their answer, or define, because our kids don't know the meaning of a lot of the vocabulary.
And I told them
that
you
they
should
see,
never
so you
ever
can just-
miss a spelling one.
Yeah, because even in the
Ever.
questions, we know the words that's gonna throw them off. Hey, identify the context clues, and you can just have a paragraph, and you know which sentence is gonna give them. Hey, can you go and identify which one of these sentences is the context clues that support
The main idea.
them that they see up there? So and just walk around. Maybe it's a poster or a piece of paper or something that's stuck on the board.
Good
And
afternoon,
the
everyone.
students love that.
I hope you all
where
had
they
a
can move around.
marvelous
They
Monday
used to let
today.
us, the
We
older
saw some great
go out.
student
Those
work in
just
the
more
classrooms
responsible
today, so
kids
thank you
go
for
out in the
continuing to work hard.
They don't answer
We
questions.
do have
come back,
reading
sit down,
tutoring
discuss
this
it.
afternoon.
So,
So boys and girls in third, fourth, and fifth grade, make sure you plan to stay. We only have 10 more days. Well, now almost 9. 9 more days before we take the reading star. So we want to make sure everyone is well prepared to score at meets or masters.
yeah, we
Don't forget, on Friday, we have our Easter egg hunt. So don't miss it. Get your Easter baskets or your bags or whatever you're going to use to gather your eggs. It is going to be amazing. And it is during your special time. So we're not losing any class time, core instruction time for the Easter egg hunt.
We're about to talk about
resources.
student
At
progress
this
and
time,
supporting resources.
We need to prepare for dismissal, all flag details, kinder through second grade walkers, pre-K and kinder,
All
start
right,
moving
so
to
y'all,
your
let's
dismissal
go ahead and talk
location.
about
Tutoring students, when,
About the resources
right
and moving to the
after
program.
right at dismissal,
Yes,
you
let's
all
talk about
proceed to the cafeteria,
student
so you
resources.
can eat
What
and be
support
ready
or
for your
resources
session. Thank you.
would help us to be more effective?
We identified some of them already. I really do like the moving around. Like I said, I really hate that they took out the rock and review section.
I would love, we
because
did that on
that's-
Saturday school, and I was like,
Exactly, that's the
let's do
reading.
that.
That's the reading engagement piece, because we're sitting down and we're just reading the passages, going over strategies, answering questions, or writing. But they were supposed to start with a rock and review where they would have like a small mini game, and it would be
I
like
think
a
that would be
heads
fun,
up.
y'all.
I tried to get support in doing that before we move into it. I was told that we're not supposed to do it, but it's up to me. Which is why I wanted to cut the revise and edit time and just
Okay.
use the rest of the time for the rock and review.
You wanna try to do it?
Yes, because
Okay.
it's
I don't know how to do it, and Bo wanted to say something about book it as well.
Yeah,
yes, just
And I've never done that either, but I'm willing
engagement
to.
pieces, yes.
I'm willing
And
to try.
that's what I think I'm
They
gonna do.
love
Like,
it.
they do love to book it. Like, do something, a book it that's kind of like a warm up to what we're about to do.
Yes.
Like, my children are they're struggling, well, we have the same children, but they're struggling with converting decimals to fractions, fractions to decimals. So I'm thinking that maybe I could do a little book it on that, or some like little quick game activity. Like we have like this bingo game as well. So it's like you got a bingo card and it's like different math problems on it, and you gotta when I called out certain things, you gotta
That's
put your
fun.
right. That's fun.
And relevant.
It's fun and real, and I think that it helps them with retaining, because I think when we're going back, I don't want to go back, but one of the things that students
All
struggle
bus
with
riders
is
and first and
retention
second
of
graders, please
information.
move to your
Retention
dismissal
of
location.
information.
Yeah,
but they're
are
not
they
retaining
retaining
it.
it?
So that's the other thing, we gotta figure out a way
Make
to
it
make sure
memorable
that
in a way that they
retain
will
it.
remember
It's gotta
it.
latch on to something,
Booklet
you know.
and what's the other one that they
Kahoot.
Kahoot.
Uh-huh.
Kahoot for the smaller students, I think that kind of helped them memorize it because it make them choose those answers.
Yup.
Yeah.
And go, but it was another game we played for the student, but that might be too advanced. Fifth grade though.
The escape rooms that we have.
We have escape rooms.
We haven't done, it's an escape room for reading and an escape room for math.
We were just informed that bus
But they
517
have
will
to
be
put it
late.
on the plan. So
Bus
I don't know.
517 will be late.
That
And
is
I told
up
Miss
to
Yu,
you.
I told Miss Yu,
Students,
I
we
said,
have
you
a
need to do
new
this.
item
Like,
today for
Yeah.
you to try
all
for your
three
snack.
classes are
I
different
hope you
rooms
enjoy
for the
it
escape
today.
room.
We added something
One day
new to
for
the
math,
rotation.
one day for reading, and we can make
Also,
it
daycare
Absolutely.
and third to
I would
fifth
agree.
grade workers
That
will
would
move
be
to your
fun.
dismissal location.
Yeah.
And it's making them start to think that moving, getting up, going to a different scene,
Yes.
going in,
Yes.
getting prepared. It
It is, that all places, because think how we are in workshops.
Now, we are over there, and they want to have workshops after work. I'm walking around already.
And then, and you're just sitting there like this. Oh,
Right, I'm done.
I came here
Yes.
to specifically sit
So
down
these
and
babies
not move.
are sitting all day. So we do need to, I think that we should definitely talk about this later, about the escape room and all of that, because I'm loving that. Okay, you're in charge of us being on task. How we doing?
We're on our last one, which is student progress.
All right, student progress. What we're using? All in learn? No, we're using like serious for hours.
Serious and all in learning.
Yeah,
And
okay.
on paper. Because
Okay.
remember last week I turned in the actual passage, which they did really good on.
He did?
Yes, I turned in the passage, but then they also have the serious assignments that I've assigned, and then they also have the exit ticket for the terrific writing Tuesday, which is an all in learning.
Okay.
So
Have we looked
mine
at
is in
that?
all in learning and mine is also paper. So I have them do the exit ticket on paper first and then put it into all
Were
in
you
learning.
able to get it to work? Because I remember that all the
First
math
couple of
people were
days,
like,
yeah.
it's not working.
The first couple of days it didn't work. Friday was the first day it worked and today it worked. So I was able to get the
Good.
Friday exit ticket in and today's exit ticket in. But I have them do it on paper first and then put it into
Okay.
into all in
Very
learning.
good. They're doing okay. Have we looked at it yet?
They're doing pretty good. They are, you know, yeah, I'm hoping that it'll increase. You know, they're doing what I expect for them to
Look,
do.
you have more time than we do. So there you go. Because ours is like
Sometimes
around
more
the
time
corner.
is not good.
That is true.
More time
That
is
is
not
true.
good. But,
All right. Yeah. Did you want to add anything before we close up about progress? What are we talking about? Progress. Student progress.
And just monitoring.
Monitoring.
I think I have everything I can add into that, but it was just I don't see that particular problem with fifth grade like I do in the more
Yeah.
other third, certain, like classes and stuff with the kids and stuff. But I like the ideals of getting them up
I love that.
and then that moving and being able to, that scavenger hunt, it puts it on the student. It's now you're seeing student
You stop talking too
engagement
much.
and
Y'all
they
need to
collaborate
take
with
over.
one another.
Yeah.
Student teaching.
Yeah. I agree. All right. So, do we have any questions before we close out, guys?
no, I think that was a great discussion.
I do too. I really did. I got some
I really-
ideas
I
too.
did.
Walking away with some ideas. I'm feeling really good.
Good.
All right. So, if we don't have anything else to say, then this meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for the snacks.
Anytime. I got one from Walmart.